Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, whether it's an old one or a new one. Here are readings for more or less December. These energies are coming in with the sun in Sagittarius, and it's already there. So whenever you watch it, it's probably a good time for you to watch it. This time I'm using 3 decks. The Silver Witchcraft Tarot deck for general reading, Mariel Tarot, only major arcanas for the general energy for each sign, and Witches Tarot as a modifier. I will only choose 1 card for each decan of the sign, which is a novelty. So, that's it. And now, onto your reading. Enjoy. Hello Gemini, here's a reading for you for the time of December, more or less December. Whenever you watch it is probably the best time for you to watch it. Okay, so let's start. First I'm gonna draw 1 card from Mariel Tarot deck. Please guide me. For Gemini, Sun, Moon and Rising. 1 card. It's this one. You have the World. It's such a gorgeous card. I love it. Look at the colors. She's so delicate. I mean, look at her. Such a beauty. And she's so plenty of everything. And there's everything here on this picture. The stars, the fertility, the completion, the light, the brightness, the darkness, everything. I love this card. So the World, successful completion of a cycle. One of the best cards in tarot there. One of the best energies you can have around you. These are lessons learned. It's a Saturn card, and Saturn is a very tough teacher. But it teaches you well, and after you pass your exam, your teacher is really rewarding you, and this is the reward, the world. The world is yours, Gemini, or there is a possibility of this. But it's always up to you whether you take this possibility and what you do with it. Okay, let's look at our main reading. The cards are already shuffled. I will just cut the deck for you. Please guide me for Gemini, Sun, Moon and Rising. Heptapod spread that I designed. I love it because it's very effective, I think, and it's also easy, it's understandable, and it's magical. Magical creatures from the Arrival movie inspired me to do this. Now, at the background energy, here is 4 of Wands, so another nice card. 4 of Wands is a very festive energy. Time to celebrate, time to enjoy, time to be together. Mars and Venus meeting. So it sometimes talks about couples, marriages, other happy moments, but also home and house and everything connected with it. And hearth, nice warm fire in winter. So that's the background energy for you. And your energy, Gemini, is the Empress. Another favorable card for you. Very creative source, feminine, nurturing, and beautiful. This is Venus. So you have Venus, you have Mars, you have Saturn, all the great planets appearing here. Empress is very much standing on the earth, So connected and grounded. And she wants to give birth. She wants to nurture things. And she's responsible for everything that is living and breathing. So you are in this flowing, abundant energy of the Empress. And now modifiers, that's a novelty. As some of you probably know, all signs of zodiac are also divided into tinier parts that are called decans. And each sign has 3 decans. So for those of you who were born at the beginning of the sign Gemini, let's say between the 22nd of May and the 2nd of June, it differs year to year. So it's approximately the first 10 days of Gemini. You are from the first decan. Next 10 days, the 2nd to the 12th, more or less, of June, is the second decan. And the third decan, the last decan, beginning on the 12th or 13th of June, and ending with the sign of Cancer. So the last part of Gemini is the third decan. And I'm going to draw 3 cards, 1 card for each decan. Please guide me for Gemini, Sun. It only relates to you if your Sun sign is Gemini. The first decan, 5 of Cups, Cup of Sorrow. The second decan, Page of Swords, Seeker of Truth, or Pursuing Truth. And the last decan, the third decan, the Moon, something hidden. And these are the modifiers of the reading. So these are the energies that are influencing you depending on which day you were born. We'll talk about this in the course of the reading. What's the main force coming from above to you? You have the High Priestess, which is very much connected with your intuition and what you feel. As you can see, those two, it's the second time that they came together. One other sign also had it together. I think, was it Taurus or Virgo? I can't remember exactly, but these are 2 main feminine energies. One is more connected to feelings and the other to Venus. So this is beauty. This is what I feel, my emotions, but also what's hidden beneath the water, but I have contact with it here. So you may need to use your intuition. It can also mean that you're very sensitive to all what is hidden, all mysteries around you. Or it can also mean there is a mystery around you. Someone knows something, but they don't want to share it. And looking at your modifier cards, which tell me much about your general state of the Sun Geminis, you may be in this pursuit of truth in order to be happy, because there is generally happiness here, but there I see sorrow or seeking for truth, the necessity to know something, to resolve something. Let's look at the other cards. This is interesting. What's coming to the past? Oh, I constantly say coming to the past. I don't know why. What's passing? What's going to the past? What's the past? The Star. So you had hope. You had this feeling that you're on the right path. The position of this card does not necessarily indicate that you don't anymore. No. It's just a very strong experience that you had. And now it's receding because new experiences are coming in. So this is receding. But the most important thing is that once you feel the energy of the star, it stays with you, even if you don't feel it this way anymore. This light that is shining above your head and is guiding you towards your greatest good, it's still there, no matter if you see it right now or not. Beautiful card. Some people say this is an Aquarius card. Yeah, no, this is Aquarius. But it doesn't necessarily mean that some Aquarius is going to the past in your life. But for some of you, surely. What's the difficulty? What's the challenge here? The challenge is the devil. And when I see this card in this deck, you can see the mirror. And you can see a very grim reflection in the mirror. So, especially in this deck, I think it's about facing your demons. The devil is about facing your demons, which actually don't necessarily are what they seem. Demons are the most frightening when we don't want to look them in the face. Our fears are the greatest when we avoid them. And this card, for me, is mainly about the necessity, or, well, it's urging you to look your fears in the face, to look your shadow in the face. Because it may occur, it's not what it seems, and it's not as scary as you thought. That's why I generally love this card, because it tells me that right decisions can be made and a great progress can be made. I love how they explain it in the Druidcraft tarot deck. This is very much in accordance with what I feel here. Potential for abundance and liberation, mastery of life force, but also obsession and materialism, of course. It can be this. You can have difficulties with this, especially with the Empress, which is very much connected with beauty and everything that is pleasant. But when I look at this, look, she's not looking here. She's looking the other way. What should you focus on? That's where she's looking. So that's interesting what this card is. But here, your fears may devoid you of your energy. It doesn't have to be so. So, this card, I always think about courage. Great courage needed to look your fears in the face. Let's look how to cope with it. How to cope with the devil. Six of Pentacles. How? So, you may be obsessed about the material side of your life. As I said, that it won't be enough. But this card says, yeah, there will be enough. There's always enough. There's plenty for everyone. You don't need to be afraid. There's balance between giving and taking. And when there is balance, the energy flows. And there's always enough for you. Enough for you. Okay? So don't obsess about material things. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. This card tells you about your strength this month. And you have Two of Pentacles, which is in a way answering this challenge. If you have 10 of Pentacles as your strength, this means that you already have the capacity of balancing life, balancing things. Look at these 2 Pentacles. One is higher, the other is lower, but they're connected with this beautiful life thread. Yeah? And you're just doing it. It's not that difficult. I know one day you have to stop balancing, you have to stop juggling. This may mean that, yeah, that's very Gemini-like. Making more than one thing, yeah? Making 2 or more things at once. You're good at it. This is your nature. Double. At least. Double. Okay? So, yeah, I feel you can handle it. It's already there. You don't need to worry. What should you focus on? What is Empress looking at? She's looking at justice, and she's sending her greetings. Look at this. This is beautiful. She can't look because her eyes are covered, but it's like there is connection here. This is wonderful. Especially that justice is a Libra card, and Libra is very much connected with Venus. So there is a magical connection here. And again, it's talking about balance. So I feel this says, instead of focusing on your fears, focus on what, on the sense of balance that you have, the sense of this beautiful capability of doing two things, merging two things, and balancing two things. You know where to turn to. You know whether to turn to this side or to this side, where your thoughts are needed. These butterflies are like thoughts here. Your thoughts should be considering the Empress, so the creative acts. And Empress is supporting this. There is a great connection here between those two. Doing what is just, doing what serves the balance in life. You have balance here, you have balance here, you also have harmony here. So it all kind of goes in the right direction, I think. It really flows. It's not stable, it's not very, stagnant. It's flowing, but it finds balance all the time, all the time. It's like, for some of you, because these modifier cards are rather grim for each and every one of you. It's like saying, don't focus on negatives, don't focus on past fears, past losses. Don't focus on what you don't know. Yeah, that's what it says, exactly. Don't focus on what you don't know. Focus on what you know. Focus on what you have. Focus on what you can handle and must handle and need to handle. Because you're good at it, and it goes very well with the flow of life this month. Okay, Gemini, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say here. And the last card that I like to call Vista. So the look, the sudden look. Something you need to see. It can also be advice. It can also be result for some of you. Let's look. You have 5 of Wands. And 5 of Wands is about conflict. So we have 4 of Wands. Underneath we have 6 of Wands. So you're in a process. What I feel here is that this period of friction is necessary. And that's why you may feel insecure. I feel this devil talks mostly about insecurance. Is there a word like this? Feeling insecure. Insecurity. Yeah, that's the word. So, you may have these thoughts. Why not? Perhaps that's why the Sun Geminis have these modifiers of not knowing something, feeling sadness, or being very, harsh and eager to uncover the truth. That's natural, this card says, and that's needed. I like 5 of Wands because, especially here in this picture, because you can see they don't fight really, but each of them is looking into different direction, which means that they see different things and they think different thoughts and they have different ideas about what to do. But what's important They're holding hands, and I think they are talking. This card is very often about the lack of the leader, that there's nothing wrong in it. Absolutely nothing wrong. And it's very good to hear all of them. So if you have these frictions, different opinions inside of you or outside of you, let them talk. Let them tell you what they see. Because what they see as 4 or 5 is so much more than 1. It gives you a full picture. 360 degrees, you know? Panoramic view. Yeah. Appreciate the panoramic view of different opinions. Even if at first this makes you insecure. Because I think from this, it's always like that. The answer emerges finally. And it's much more profound and accurate than the one that comes immediately from one point of view. Okay? Allow this. All right, Gemini. I like your reading. I think you're going to have a beautiful month, and I wish you this. May the universe bless you. See you next month.